walking up the brown halls, it seems. And they might just run into this aggression down into Long Dog. Woro prepped and ready. Doolies should be the weapon for the job, but Maddie's, that's incredible. Double entry towards Long Dog. Are they going to be prepped for Jacosmo, though, so close?
He's so close, and he may just stuff them right at this angle because they're going to get the contact in via the bomb train. Can you go 2 for 2? Fighting at the back of red, and now the IGL is going to flank Fear. Top up getting that impact early.
I mean, he's going to give it a go, but all points covered right now. And he's just hoping that Passion are going to get interested in asking some questions. Now spotted. Oh.
23 seconds is the problem here. He knows exactly where Top of lies. He has that in disguise, but Blame F is just going to be lighting up Passion UA early. 1v3 on that P250. That is going to mean a whole hell of a lot for fnatic. Clearly in the 1v3, the noise was just low enough for him to get over it in that clutch. Like you said, that's sort of been the bar about it, the headlines. Cosmo again gonna be put on this line, and he gets 3 out of the MP9 and a 4th. Fear hurdles a man, but can't get to the line back indeed. Flame F is gonna need another 1v clutch. You may get this deck. I'm not sure if he ever did get that spot on. Regardless of the meaningless fight you may or may not get, which you do, it is checked once, USP pulled, and Oro does not survive in the end. Passion UA go ahead and meet fnatic just out of 1-1 right away through the lane of their youngest member.
Flame F, of course, hanging on with the SMG.
Even getting that spam back at Jambo in the Brown Halls, giving him the business early.
I think what's crazier is Jambo spamming back.
Respect.
Oh, uh-oh.
We've lost a member.
And I don't know the exact rule set here.
Fine with damage. Tap into T-Con, a split over an Ivy, and that's where the bomb is going to actually acquire. Aurora swaps out to the AK, but Jambo, he was ready for anything. Immediate execution. That's where Kevin comes and gets this immediate look, but there's Crims with a deagle for himself. fnatic have an advantage, but just briefly.
Yeah, they're gonna be able to hang on to that, though. Cosmo creeping out onto the bomb site proper. Not gonna see anyone there just yet, but slow and measured approach, but time is of the essence.
Cosmo fully blind. Back of the site there. Fear gets the spotting onto top of it. Cosmo swings and he collects every single member that is challenging over on this side of the bomb train.
Oh,
Passion
no.
UA, they roll into a second. Business, Vincent. The Cosmo will give them a bit of a prolonged look. He goes, senses from the back of the hall. Now should get a little bit of energy back, but he's always good for that first frag, so it seems. And there is going to be that leak over at T-Con at the same vein. Cosmo has to deal with this by just pushing forward. Is caught. High risk play. But now Fear realizes how many bodies they've dropped here, but the space that they have gained better take the advantage here. Matiz is going to be getting a very nice kill. MP9 reigns in from the site, but can't finish the frag. Jambo, Galil, can he hit on the long range? They're holding him down here, but the IGL does put in the digits.
Yeah, the former Passion duel against Passion. As Jambo mollied out, that's devastating. He now at 24 HP. Smoke to provide coverage for the CTs, and it's almost a lineup. Fear only barely able to recover. Woro looking to settle the score on this one.
Really pushing that. Fear gets caught. Trying to really go ahead and double down. Passion UA, you can respect their tenacity. Cosmo tried to get ahead of that smoke right at the beginning of this thing. MP was so close to home. Two players holding strong within the back lines of the old bomb at the moment. Crims getting right where he needs to be. But Woro, he does find one of those two awaiting members. Now the push from Ivy is just going to get complicated because here's that second rotation. Toppa from the back of the bomb train now gets a little bit of help from Z, but they're just jumping right into this. Crims in 35 bullets in that Galil mag does a whole hell of a lot of damage, but can't take a life. There's Jambo sprinkling in. Gonna have to be more magic out of Jambo, but this time can he succeed? Crims to just push this, but they are just caught up. Jambo full HP in a 1v3. Would have to just activate the magic that you had with Blame beginning of this half. Does get a good look, but you've done so much damage and Jambo will cook. Now you just have Kev just so low. Jambo can just peek over, but the rotation to back red will catch him.
I just don't quite get it. And they left us 2 open. This is like such a weird situation for Fnatic right now, but Jambo, I mean, hasn't had the opportunity to have an AWP really, but opens it up with 2 towards Ivy. That's nasty.
Yeah, but he's looked so good as a rifler. I know that's sort of not the point you're wanting to make, but I mean, Fnatic finding ways to continue to find success here through slowing it down. They run the Ivy default. They get a whole hell of a lot of space over at the old bomb. And right now, they even just box in Woro in the back lines. A decision to be made, and now you'll get your wish.
It's a huge head to find, but this reaction's just as fast for Passion, or for Fnatic, excuse me. They walk out B. Fear sees nobody on the initial swing. Ooh, but he isn't gonna get a look at anyone else. Tupa puts him down.
Starting to get worrying. It's all who they make the contact on. If Jacosmo could have really dealt a lot of contact here to help out MQQ. Obviously, the contact on somebody back of the train. Had to get that bomb down from someplace. You do get that flash over. Matez is going to be pushed so far up the sidewalk, and he's going to be able to catch them all. Woro 2K, I'm not sure if he did get the spotting on it, but to flick back over, and Matez, he's going to be right up in their grill, Vincent, even flicking over. This man absolutely robotic at the moment, and he just wants to farm up these deagles. That's the way you loosen the fire. Put some water on it. But are these players going to actually be able to float right out? That I don't know. That you want to get out with the AWP. Run fast, Jambo.
I don't think he's out. Oh, he got there. Whew. Very close when you have 16 HP. And Kevin just takes an AK too. Like, massive damage for the investment right now. Passion doing the most with the least. And Fnatic just struggling. If it ain't for Matisse, then this round's all done and dusted, to be honest with you.
Man. In and out a little bit on their end. Passion consistently with these very confident fights. And
wow.
Jambo immediately met 2 bodies put at the back of red for a reason. Was to take fights no matter the cost, and they get a big body out of this thing. And right now, just sending it into the B lane, they're not going to wait for a second. The same quick reaction, they go.
Feels like they've maybe leaning in on the fact that MQQ having a stinker. I mean, technical difficulties that we were kind of mentioning. But Cosmo down. It's going to be up to just Woro, Kavim, to get this thing rocking and rolling. But already into spawn is Crims. Oh my goodness, Kavim though had a banger of a trade frag. Rare that you're going to hear me say that, but absolutely stunning from him to start this round. Now he's going to have to work with Woro to end it.
Yeah, he's got the kid on his back too. He is the key to this round. And right now with this bomb ticked, both of these players going to be leaning over into the ramp side. Kevin's just going to hop right on it. Is there even a response? Maybe at the very last second, they don't even get that spam. Passion UA, they steal another round from the hand of Fnatic, and this time, it's stealing back a little bit of that momentum, a little bit of that hope that they thought they were able to post something really here in this first half. Maybe even carry on a little bit of momentum to the end of it. That may have been their best possibility to try and lock something in and really create a little bit of motion, but now it's looking grim.
Yeah, it feels like that's a must-win fight for Crims.
Hopa. MQ, he can just swell into a position to lock out anything from Pop. They're going to give it their own treatment. They're going right through, and they're cleaning house. Topa gets 2 bodies, puts him down. 2 upgrades for Passion UA, and a 2-man advantage.
Fnatic give Passion just so much space to work with. And Passion are curious. They're like, well, okay, they're nowhere. They can't be nowhere. Got to clear something. Got to take some space. Can't be giving up everything on B and not having Long Dog. And so for that reason, able to get up in their face. 2-on-4 now. Jambo and Blame F. A duo that I think you would want in this scenario, but Waro puts an early end to Blame F.
Jambo just stands so close. Nobody really to roll the dice here into T-Con.
You know, late lurking. Not ideal, but you know, that's considering that Metiz has gotten a lot of entries.
Certainly, and as we were talking about Jambo as well, it's a time for a Blame double entry. One will do just fine. Papa to immediately get this response back, but he was buying time so that these players through Long Dog can get in significant positioning. Oh, Tapa just at the top of the totem, and right now stays alive as Cosmo. He stabs through, and Metiz, he's going to be just expecting this next fight.
Oh, Jambo's watching.
With a push here. He's so little HP, Vincent, that he can make a lot of his life, but he is caught.
Oh my goodness, great shot there as well for Jambo. He had the line and everything, did Waro, but Jambo still bests him.
But 51 seconds, and now you will get a couple of these smokes out onto the bomb site. Still really playing with their time. Topa does have the bomb. 40 seconds. They've really got to cover a lot of ground quickly. Thankfully, the entries look to be clean, though Jambo pristine from this site, and he's going to have to do more. Jambo with a second. Jambo with the third. He is stacking up the bodies right now. This could be the ace from Jambo to pop off when Passion UA want to put Fnatic in the grave. The jump shot exposes him. And DemQ on for a clutch. They would want a pistol 1vx in the same way that Playoff got off to. Bomb pulled, and he's looking for it patrolled, but it's Jambo that will put you in the cuffs. It is an ace for Jambo against his old organization, and Fnatic, that's exactly what they needed.
I mean, hey, these pistol rounds, it's been what you could hope for. A 1v3 in the first half and an ace in the second from Jambo, who's been clean all day, no doubt. Don't even question him. He'll get it done.
Jambo holding close. It's to reposition. Fear in the sight. Fear, he signed up to get his hands dirty here, but immediately they get a Molotov that's right on top of Jambo's head at Cloud right now. There is a whole hell of a lot of pressure raining down on this Fnatic defense. They've set up so well for this hit. So well they have thought. Right now, Metez can just step up and make these plays necessary. Flash up to take a close fight onto the opposing IGL, repositioning, and Cosmo's got that back better on you. Passion UA, they still have the man advantage, but for how long? And with Jambo now fought and just caught in the end, Passion UA, they bounce back to the stunning start that Fnatic find themselves. Early Brown Hall's approach.
Oh boy, here we go.
Rock that out from the back 6, but here comes the 2K back for ya. Spotting on it. Honestly, Fnatic have been really good about not re-peeking into these op plays. There is quite a haze up here at the Brown Halls. It's Fnatic that are kicking down the door and taking control themselves.
They saw what happened if they leave things alone over on B. Give Passion the time to set up and execute. Well, no, not this time. We're not going to let you do that again. You showed us what you could do. Great Molotov. Going to give DemQQ an easy duel against Matisse, but it's just the start of what they need. Jambo displaced. Well, Molly and a great flashbang, too, to provide delay. But Fear, there he is.
All right. Give him the keys. Beaten away with a kill right in the back end. Jambo's still alive, and what have we been talking about before he even got the scope in hand? He's racking up these numbers, just reaching for him with the rifles, all the pistol work that he's been putting down. And all of those efforts have culminated in a lot of energy that has come back in this Fnatic direction. At one point, this train felt lifeless.
Very impressed with it.
It's crazy. It feels like even fnatic putting out this tension, Passion UA can feel it. They just hold so strong, but honestly are coming out rather worse. Chakosma walks away with just barely a tenth of his body. BlameF holds on strongly. Someone's got to. The rest of Passion UA gonna have to reorganize. MQ again and again boxed out. Wait another 6 seconds. This smoke might clear. May give a lane to take this up peak, or a lane to find the mistake. Rides it all the way up and does meet that destination. Fear having to do multiple things at the moment. Keep conscious of the site and really keep hell in the front of his mind, but he's going to be sent there. Chakosmo to re-clear into team main. This has Mate's just written all over it. He turns around and beams for a second. This is why they pay the young gun the big bucks. Talk about big guns.
Just meant to kind of create question marks in the mind, but the time is so low. They're running out of it, Marky.
And they both have a kit. You're getting down to the nitty-gritty of this. Why even step onto the stage? fnatic, they watched themselves out of this round. Didn't have the watch equipped. Heard it ticking all the way through. Seems to be slipping up at the moment. Time ticking down on this train. Passion UA sit with a whole hell of a lot of map control. But now there's something to just try and swipe from you. Fear on one hell of an investigation. No way he gets caught with this. Fear confirms the kill. 4v4. And Passion UA, they just walk themselves up a little bit closer. Eyes onto the bomb site and respect back from fnatic.
Yeah, I mean, as much as that's a big win, it's not the time. This scoreline is just not the time to have to save.
Fear's gonna get a whole lot for this. How many bullets are there in this? No, he gets 3. It's not insignificant at all. Look at the money on the side of Passion UA. That's gonna cost a pretty penny.
Hopefully net them something. Fear jiggling up towards Brown Hall. I think he spotted one.
Where's that flash? It's a signal. Woro 2K does what he was told to do. Go ahead and just wreck it into the A site. BlameF, first responder. He's on site. Smoke right down upon it. Got to keep track of the clock in this too. Practically a 5v5 within that imagination. Rambo, you can just see a sliver, and he is just going to be removing your hip. Woro 2K gonna be walking a little bit funny next round. Crims posted up right from this angle. Gonna be a very big line he tosses in the sight, but it's knocked down. Jambo back and forth, but BlameF talked about has his lights on. Was on the site when the sirens were loud. Now needing a little bit of backup within this day, but everybody is here and the clock is beating down. fnatic, they go into this one deep and they come out on top, Vincent. That was a huge fight they needed to win. Don't exactly end up with that response, but picking on Crims has worked out in other imaginations. Bit of a pop, and now I wonder if the drop is going to go through upper. It certainly does. Thankfully, BlameF, right time, right place. And right here, you do have the awaiting member in the smoke, but Topo is going to have to turn around and actually respond to what is happening within this site, because there was a whole hell of a lot to worry about with fnatic down a member. And right now, pushing the lines, which you wouldn't expect. They're taking gunfights into Z, and they are winning them. Jambo, he has been put out of this thing, and the bomb has just crossed the fine line. Woro 2K has this thing to rest. There it is. Passion UA, they cash in their ticket. They have the first.
Dude, I mean, it's been a rough game from Crims, but that's the one that's gonna hurt the most. He fails in a pretty rough situation. Oh, great flashbang. They're so blind.
Gosh.
They're so very blind. DimQQ gets 2.
That's definitely a way to serve it up. Look, we've seen more difficult bounds, but at this point, you've seen them so back and forth on this green. It's going to hurt at some point. BlameF does recover into the AK audio queue as to somebody sticking around. Jambo with a huge op frag right now. Or 2K right around this corner. The rest of the squad trying to clear up top. You do get a bit of that needed trade. Flame F still holding within the smoke, and this may be just the best positioning, and he pops out of that smoke. Had to get that quick calm over. A 1v1 for Matei's now, and they may just meet up in the back line. Doesn't exactly challenge it. Bomb is down, has to hold it. Clear, close swing, and it is just knocked out of the park. They are going 24 on this train.
Oh my goodness. That's a big flub. Passion had that. Now fnatic primed for overtime. They still got one more job to do. This time, they're going to get the aggression, and it works out before the flash.
Why even let them get that advantage? Why even let them? Hold on. This could get a little bit tricky here. Jambo, thankfully, puts the ends on both of those players through Ivy. Spoke about 24 being where the courts decide. Well, there was a little bit of evidence given back by Kevin. And the rest of this, no way Jambo finds a third. Working on this Ivy, keeps on digging, finds gold as his third. Smoke down the exit, out of the pop dog approach. Well, guess who's waiting upon that B side? It's Crims, and just needing to put in one more to send this to 24 into overtime, Vincent. Crims has struggled. But when you need a veteran play, what better member to call on? But Fear might catch up with them. Taking a whole lot of time in this. You'll get the assist, but they actually just predict it. And will this cause them to turn right around? It does.
Oh, but right into Jambo. He's dropped 30 in regulation already. And he's got to smoke. He's got to smoke in 30 seconds. It's disgusting. No longer are they going to be able to go towards A. And Worrow's going to drop down, but it's into Metiz and Crims. A dynamic duo. Wonderful flashbang, but it's not enough. fnatic, they will push to overtime off the back of Jambo's 30 bomb. You say that, but he's already spaced very late into this. This is scary. At the moment, Blame F's going to clear it. Knows this is a gap, a possibility.
There's that Molly that we were talking about. It's so inevitable that Jambo is just going to have to stand and take it for another moment. fnatic, they were careful about where they were feeling the way go in this round. Unbalanced on this A site. Just felt off. They shift it. They make it work elsewhere. They go ahead and force into 24. Will this be 2 in a row? Will this be cold popping out for a second? The T's will say no.
But they had Jambo there early. They took Long Dog, mid-round at like the 45-second mark. fnatic had all the information. Passion were going into that stack, and they had no way of deciding otherwise.
So many bullets fired here at T-Con, but yet the blood has not been fully spilled. Turn the tide, turn it up just a notch for one more moment, and there you do have your response. 2v2. Those bodies drop evenly, and you get this 3v3. That Fear is just going to approach, but now is never afraid to go ahead and get things done on his own end. Forced to fight, forced to just beg for his life here at Olaf. And Jambo comes in, saving the day. I'm gonna go quick right in the pop. Even loud about it. Cosmo, other side, is gonna try and really make this a prolonged swing. Not wide enough to dodge Jambo right now.
I mean, they're here in team aim, but they've just gotten soaked again. That's another 20-second blocker in their face. No long dog control. Topa has had to give up that space over at Brown Halls. That's a freebie, though. Worrow, when you're in a position where you don't have a lot, you got to get creative, and a little boost over the smoke gives vision on Crims. There's an equalizer, but there's only 35 seconds left to play here.
Only one man to respond to this. Fear just made a huge play right at Olaf, sent it back to 6, and right now, how does he go against 3? He just bests them all. P250 pulled, and I think the damage has been done. Unless you are to get another sprinkle outside of T-Con, but it's coming at delayed face. Worro 2K having to look the facts straight at him. fnatic, they've got 3 for you, and they need one more to get this down in their map pick. Fear will exactly call on what he wants when it's presented. You take their sweet time for it. You know you're going to get a lot of resistance back and forth from Ivy, but just talked about Jambo's entry. Doesn't have that AK anymore, but he's still knocking down the door. The first within this B site. Instantly shutting out the rotations from Passion UA. Well, there's a big development.
No.
But look at this. How do you flank the deepest man? It's through Blame F's positioning right now, but he's going to have to get active. Blame F running back. This is essentially a 2v3 on the site, but look at where Fear's positioning lies.
Smoke's going to fade, and it's not in his favor. Kvim gets it down. Flank's coming, but it's slow. Matisse was all the way in Ivy at the beginning of this round. Is he going to be heard?
No dice.
Oh, absolutely has been. And they can't get on. Can't stop it. And that's honestly kind of the difficulty.
You know, we enter into these conversations about Fnatic going that they're missing just that little bit of aggression, that little bit of emphasis. When you share so many traits between these strong-armed fraggers, you will run into some problems. Running into a wall is Fnatic at the beginning of this round. Its name is Kev. They've got that locked, and right now, DemQ looks back at the smoke for a reason. Felt something coming through. Jambo left alive, 1v5. Find somewhere very, very safe to go ahead and get this op out of this place. Let's see if he can. Okay, maybe a couple of flashy shots along the way. Up to his 37th, and you are finally caught. That's 3.
Been in that role a lot. And they send them both out and get nothing in that round from T-Con. That's devastating.
Nobody go for a couple of these nice spams. There's a whole lot of damage. DemQ getting the business right back. Having to just send this line through. Jambo now equipped with the rifle. And he's doing it himself. But Fnatic right now, it looks like they are stopped up. Gotta find a way to get these wheels moving again. And they are just gonna bend around the back red right now. Kev just had a 3K, wants to try and meet them again. Blame F is gonna be locking them down. And then Crims, the sheriff of this town, has been for a long time to slap on the cuffs. Fnatic, through overtime, have to pull through and just finish their first map in style.
I mean, that's unfortunate. Passion. I think they had it. They had all of the details. But Fnatic in overtime looking untouchable. Jambo in particular.
A little bit of a vibe to bring maybe a little bit of revenge back to the server, Vincent. What do you think about that?
There's certainly something along those lines. This is Passion. Should have won on Train. Now they gotta win on Dust. Oh, nice shot from Matisse. Despite getting dinked in the process, that's devastating. Wonderful from Jacasmo, and this long brawl continues. Jambo got to be able to get this refrag. This is crucial, but he's bought enough time. Oro played the timing game beautifully there, Marky. That was nasty. You know, now at this point, I think got to be heating up a little bit. It's not the reason, not even close, that Passion lose on Train. But a different performance from him could have made the difference.
The Cosmo to dip right back in and hold on these Glocks. Not like this. The Cosmo has been let down. Jambo, that will be permanent. Swinging with his A1S. It's a 2 versus 4. And Top is trying to gain a little bit of respect back. Got to get a better angle. Not going to even pick it up at all. Let's see. It looked like they were going to be leaving the keys back to that B site. Not yet. This is too far gone at this point in which the bomb ticks, but they're not going to be really running up into it. There's no kits, Vincent.
Bro.
This is gone. This is a Glock round. Practically even up unless you want to throw up a miracle. They know it's gone because they're only sending the MP9 into the bomb site. There's no way Fnatic hits them across the face with that this early.
Mark.
Force right back would feel so sweet. No real information besides that shoulder that was seen crossing out from Woro's vision. Contact made into lower tunnels, and Blame on this lurk is going to be collecting early. That's Chicosmo that really felt all those ecos out of his hands in the previous. Blame goes again and double dips for Woro. That's who came all the way over from long. Maybe a third, maybe a fourth in here for Blame.
Yeah, that's why they call him the eco fragger, to be honest with you. And listen, people levy that accusation.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, as if it's like a negative, to which I say, I want my ecos too. So I will not at all be critical of Blame F, collecting a few, and in very, very nice, flashy fashion as well, might I add. They are very aware of this. Third man now just heading over to the B site. I mean, to be fair, Passion have all of long, but this is going to be tough for Fnatic.
Yeah, and they better get on the move on. They're going to be deep and long, so properly reorganized back to this site, and they have 3 players here, yet 2 of them are gone. Waro 2K is the next out of the prong, and that is an easy lift and deliver for Fnatic to just go ahead and get this bomb down, sit with a great advantage of 4 players up, and this is what is going to roll them into a 4th round on this T side, streaking back from the pistol round that was won. It was Glocks they didn't even have succeeding in the itinerary, but they got it down anyway. Jambo trying to take the long-range fights with Demq. Don't want to give them anything to hold on to. Honestly, getting one or even both of these rifles out would not be entirely meaningless, so you're getting punished, and now you've just gotten contact onto Chakosmo's location.
There's some decisions being made right now in the Passion camp that I am blown away by. Oh my goodness. Why in the hell is DimQQ going to continue fighting that? I mean that, I'm asking because I genuinely can't even find a reason if I'm trying to play devil's advocate. It almost feels like the map is sort of just where these comedy of errors is befalling Passion rather than the location of this series.
Quick B hit. This to give a legitimate look back the way of Passion UA. They already struck down a 3-man defense here, so the IGL is going to need to stand tuned with the multi-frag of his own. But Matiz has just got another double entry with such a demon on those exchanges, just barreling into the site on train. He's not afraid of anything. And Jambo, a part of that same cabinet, seeing no fear. He goes ahead, reaches in the Molotov, and now Passion UA are going to have nothing to stand on within this retake. And Crims wants some more. That's his 8th out here on Dust 2. Not only has Fnatic turned around our expectations on this next play, but so has Crims. He has turned around his series individually. I mean, round 8 right now, you do have a bit of a variety, but you do have a very fine line. There's a clear idea here for Passion to give as much back before they fully empty where they are at economically. Waro just gonna go and take another bite. Can't get the full jaws down upon that. Fades away with his life. And sitting where Passion are, steal of this round, a turn right across the tide. There is DemQQ finding another huge kill on this 5-7. He is making the impact known now, and look at what he finds. He spies his little eye onto this bomb. Fear going to be finding this AWP out of this, but worst of your worries is coming through these long doors, and right now, it's even Demq that goes further. This is actually Chakosmo that finds this angle, and is going to have to make it work. A whole minute for Fnatic to just lay and let this waste.
Oh boy. Topa down and lower, a little bit scary. Matiz, very good on the clear. Now Topa's alone. This should have been the round. Still could be. Still could be Topa to bring it to the 4.
They're going to be forced to fit into the scope. They even take the time to clear into the long doors. Fnatic got to galley up upon this long press. Topa can just hang on with the scope. 9 seconds. You got to take the fight and win it, and he does. Passion UA, they look at exactly what they have been dealt with in the deck, and they say, we are fine with our cards. They play them to perfection, and they come up with a huge eco round.
They do, but in the same vein, they can't get out of their own damn way. Like, I mean, so many times in this round where they have so much, and it still takes Topa a 1v2 clutch. Great work from him, no doubt.
5-7 banded of the prior round. Fnatic get to really dictate back to that long control if they do want to throw their hat back at it, but Chakosmo, a good a time as any to find this kill, and the same line being put up by multiple Passion UA riflers right now. Chakosmo is going to have to be hunted here in the back lines, but what an angle presents. Whoa. And right now, it's going to be just having their heads on a spinning wheel, Vincent. Got to go back, have a long attack back to Matiz, and he gets put down. Jumbo and Blame F, at least they are grouped up here and can see into just one member.
Say that Kevin is healthy. Blame F and Jambo, not so much. They do have a good amount of utility to work for them, but they might just contact this out. You have the AWP, yeah, and they're going to do just that. Jambo gets caught, and now it's Blame F. All alone. Another individual to step up for Passion. With 0 frags at the start of that round, Kevin picks up the crucial double.
Starting to get worried there. The Waro 2K puts that all out of the sight entirely. Never said die. Here heading into 10. The most equipped that they have gotten to feel. Going to be fnatic straight off it and is quickly out long, forcing Jacosmo and the rest of this squad back. But right here, through the lower working plays, it's Kevin that is found.
A big opener. That's for Matisse. Long has been very effective for Fnatic over the course of this. They might have a little bit more space to do that. Jacosmo, not a chance to step up.
Fear just absolutely decimates Jacosmo on this site. And judging by the current posture, Passion UA have already accepted their fate. Finding the lurker just to really find all of that info. They have diagnosed it. Round 4 players found their way into this site.
Yeah, Fnatic looking to target a long area that, over the last couple of rounds, Passion have actually found a ton of success in. So the more passive approach for Fnatic not working out so well, as you kind of highlighted to MQQ in the mix over in that area.
Made a gamble, and this was seconds ago. Join course with these players on the B side. 35, Fnatic now looking to feel like they have cold feet in this situation. Got to get off the line, and they have to make a decision confidently. But right now, it seems like they have picked into the B side. Is this the correct vein to go ahead and pluck right here? They all the way drain everything out of it. And oh my gosh, Jambo not going to be letting anybody pass the line of scrimmage to even think about retaking this site. It'll be 8 rounds and hit the board for Fnatic.
It's a nasty Cosmo hoping to escape.
What, 4 more seconds? Go for him. Right as this thing goes down. Mask the jump.
Yeah.
Just embarrass him. Jacosmo not ready.
It's just not looking good. Not looking good at all.
Look at this. The double op check in back by Fear. Picked it up for just a moment. And the back end of that CT side, he'll quickly switch back and be equipped with that rifle ready to go. Fnatic, just like they did so long ago, when they're holding into that middle play, they send into an immediate B feel to immediately spun off of the peel for Passion UA. It's a 9-3 half that they're staring down, unless they have magic coming out of the end of Waro 2K's op.
Oh, he's heard. Cosmo seen, heard, removed. Waro will equalize in the AWP department, but the problem is that there's so much more to handle, and Fear's up on the flank.
Fear's up on the flank, and just one swipe away from locking down that timing. Waro is caught on the fight down there with everything prompted up in that corner. DemQQ has to throw it up for a moment, making it a 1v1. But in the time he would track away back to the site, in the 4 seconds it would take to tick, it's going to be the 9th within that meantime to find its way up onto the board on Fnatic's favor. Again, you reach into a Dust 2 that you have not played so much so as more than 2 times in your last 3 months. Look at where they stand, and look at where the odds feel about Fnatic. Jambo to take this initial contact. He is caught completely blind, but his face does not dip back down below. Vincent, it could be an aggressive play up through Catwalk.
It will be just that. No. Fear had the full kit of utility, smoke, flash, HE, and that smoke's just enough. Ward them off. Matisse in the mix. Does he get the reload? Yes!
He's still alive!
Got the help.
He's still alive, and he's got 4 out of the the corner. He never backs down. This is insane stuff. He has to actually acrobatically set himself apart, jumps for his life, and he lands on both feet with 2 more bodies underneath. The ace plays out of Jambo, a 1v3 for BlameF. The rounds that are so important, they control out of thin air. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I feel like Fnatic has just leveled out Passion again. And I say that
Block round for Passion,
Waro,
maybe?
Yeah, I was about to say, considering the Waro just hit that stunner. Matisse already a little bit more low than he would have liked. And it might actually be, because the A site's undefended.
Plant.
Well, it's definitely that. Fear's got an MP9, and I mean, that's all well and good, but Scout's in position.
That's a big fight loss, though. I mean, you have to get those early fights, and so clean, right? When those Glocks struck before, immediately took out 2 of those rifles that were trying to fight back. But, oh my gosh, they even had Waro 2K trying to work on the flank. If that would have came just a couple of seconds earlier, this thing would have been maybe just a little bit more difficult. But Fnatic, they measure up to the pressure that Passion UA enforces on their A site.
Be able to fall back and not allowed to do that. Fnatic, I mean, I think this is kind of symbolic of this series, right?
Oh my gosh.
They get punished once on that cross and they smoke it.
Yeah, run them down, boys. That's the call out of Fear. Jambo having to respond back. BlameF in that corner. Survives in the flame for a moment, but that one is converted. Bites the dust from Jambo. He does get one from the grave, but on the unintended side. Still an advantage for this Fnatic unit. Passion UA have got to understand that they're likely all scattered. There's a head that is going to be seen. DemQQ have been begging for more in this second map for you. But here's a good opportunity with the full HP he has in comparison to his IGL. Takes a good fight first, and right now it's going to get it back from the savior of this pistol round, who, guess what? Gets vertical for that fight. Topa now 1v2 has the bomb.
How about it? You've seen a big clutch from the leader with Passion before. He's going to need another one here and now. Numbers punched in. That's a confirmation. He's got a nade and a Molotov to work with. They think it was B for a second. Kind of seemed like it, but they'll regroup. Hit back Cat and go together.
2 of the core members of Fnatic been rocking this with the Swedish organization, namely this man, for about as long as time itself. Topa, right on the line, has to hit 2 swift shots, but you get that immediate play back. Hop on that kit.
Limitations here for Passion, but it's not entirely there. Oh, great. Molotov to BlameF. You see, you think that he's stuck with you, but you're stuck with him. Jambo swings from Cat, and it's looking likely to close.
Locked in away with the Rorschach. That's what it feels like when you look at facing Blame's distance. Not a very pretty look. Every time Jambo has had a swipe right on that canvas, it has been a beautiful stroke. MQQ down to 7. Gonna take the 17-year-old for the clutch.
Oh, he's about to be caught. Say that. Crims misses the shot, and great recovery, but they're now both so low. 10 health between them.
.30 seconds to go as well. Crim's audio cue may have even had the inclination over. We need to pull a fast one onto DemQQ, and certainly does. Now even posted up to Cosmo like an opera. 1 bullet, 1 body down. Different jersey, but they can feel the tension just the same. Kit on the back of Fear. To Cosmo high up on the shelf. Going and just searching the nitty-gritty in this site. There's only one place where this young man can be, and he has just been swept out of the corner, but there is no time. Fnatic, they're going to have to extend to a 17.
Well played.
Eyes on to blame F here. We'll check back on Matisse' flank just in a minute, as he'll have to insert himself to those long doors. The straight journey the Fnatic have took to the A side has been just a bit of a short walk, but right here, Fear is going to have to say some very convincing words as well. Only one statement delivered, and right here you sit at a 4v4, but look at where Jambo is going to be presenting himself. Molotov to burn him off and put him in the spotlight of DemQQ's AK. They have the site, they have the fight won onto the Opper, but here was that flank, and it is bested. Fnatic at every single point have been tested and defeated.
Matisse missed his timing. Waro just stepping around the corner, down to 4 HP, but not defeated. And so everyone turns on Matisse in that moment. It seems like nobody's in a giving mood here on Passion UA. Maybe not?
Oh!
Good coverage.
Fnatic, they can feel themselves on the green, Vincent. And right now, this could be a very nice swing to actually gain a little bit of distance back. But do they commit to it? The answer is yes. And he wasn't ready for it. They did not have the nades or all the way called. It was a little bit of utility that stalled out where their prioritizers were lying in that very moment. Fnatic have just been ruined.
Matisse thinks that Jambo, or excuse me, that Fear is covering him. That's what he is confident to kind of clear the close cubby in the steps of Catwalk, but whether it's a miscommunication or misunderstanding, regardless, that isn't the case. And so Matisse goes down with Fear following suit quickly thereafter. That reclear of Catwalk sort of required for Fnatic. They were starved of information. They didn't know what was going down, so they needed to find something somewhere. Catwalk where they choose. Now the question is, do the remaining 2 CTs survive?
They would like to manage that down. Oh, and Worry, what a hell of a shot through the door. Woro and DemQQ had 2 more caskets in the pile.
You know, they're seeing that, hey, Passion are actually starting to do this. This is getting serious. Matty's with the op. Oh, what doesn't matter? He
What a
can't
find.
see. And he won't stop.
Formalities back and forth. Fnatic cannot play hardball with his utility like Passion UA can. It was got to be Jambo to deliver that iron hand, and does. Fully blinded over to KevM. You may get this all the way down. It's actually Tapa that is considering going and really, as an individual, taking more space. Just where that Opper was firing out, just under the crosshair of Blame F. But he is just going to be spotting the forehead right now. And now he hears all of Passion UA running out.
About to hear nothing, though. A little cut of sound for a moment. And for Passion, now they redirect back over towards this B site. Blame F, can he get in front of this smoke? Not at the moment. And DemQQ just to tuck in, which means it's all up to Krems. He's had a great game, and now he needs to stand tall.
He's on this double box. Thankfully, middle puts any worry outside of his imagination. 20 bullets to come out of this M4 for 3 bodies that are going to remain warm. 12 seconds. Fnatic, they back off, knowing that the site has just been drowned under. If they go ahead and just let it suffice, which they will, UA will find themselves onto 9 rounds, Vincent. Where did we start this?
This is
12-4?
Yeah. Spicy, to say the least. With every round that goes by, Fnatic feeling the reality. The Passion UA are not done. They're not out. But as much as Krims does so much damage, if you want to kind of tally it up at the end, he gets none on that B-hold, and that's certainly not ideal.
The real fast B, though, I mean, with this type of bargain brought all the way through, huge entries, red carpet that was dyed with Fnatic's blood again and again and again. Now it's even more obvious this time. You have no chance at retaking this.
Last round, there might have been a question. This round, none. And now, I mean, it seems they're on the hunt. Blame F, familiar spot. Oh, but Kavim only one to actually step into this location. Really would be devastating to lose this op or the M4. Fear, it's okay if he loses out. Still, you don't want that to be the case. At least $600 extra before he falls. Gotta hide, and they will get away. Blame F and Jambo. The crucial nade. I thought that was maybe to clear mid, but nobody looks into it. Jambo's here, though.
Jambo gets spotting onto one, knows that there's got to be more than just that. Kevin goes and he takes that first target, that first face drop, but he's ready for more. Jambo is just going to get tapped right outside of the box. Jambo, he pops out of the box and just going to be putting one down. Two is that fine line, and they are just going to hook this double entry. Passion, they are not letting fnatic off the line, not with the free win, not in front of them.
A missing piece, but now the perspective solution. Passion UA's problems.
Finally a long fight. Finally a long fight that fnatic are going to lean into. Fear, a double. And now their hopes answered. They get to play on a man advantage. But what's their next move? It feels like fnatic have been just so disorganized when they have been called on the audible to play in a freestyle moment. Again, back to the B Anchor Crims.
Oh, and he's off the site. This is great because now he can grab his one and just survive. Survival is the only thing he needs to do. He maintained that man advantage, and now he's grabbed more.
Doesn't look like Crims have just survived. He has thrived, and so has fnatic in the back end when they have needed to. 24 rounds forced there, but fnatic in the round of 16, they are tested. The tale of two comebacks. Passion UA's is not good enough, but damn, did it stand the test to the very end.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about, you know, two more opportunities for Passion, then that might have been different. But when it's 12-3, when there's that many chances to close,